think it's doing something.
Looks like something's happening.
I don't know what I did different.
I saw something change.
Oh my gosh. Moderation helps. Okay, thank you. I think I think we got it, Les.
Okay.
There's a delay, but I think we we can't we can't look at ourselves because I
Do
think
you think,
there's a
are we live now?
I think we're live.
Oh my gosh.
I think we're live. There's some delay going on. I just yeah, there's a little delay, but we could just keep it moving.
Okay.
It says one person is watching, so somebody got on. So I guess we're live.
Okay. That's exciting.
I guess we are live. Oh my gosh. Listen,
Wow. Okay. Hi,
listen.
everybody.
Tech Hi everyone. Technology can be such a nemesis, but we're just gonna keep it moving. All right, there are three people watching. It's working. Something's happening. Try not to look at yourself because there's a delay, and we've had that experience, and it drove us crazy. So
Uh-huh.
don't,
And that's why we're still crazy.
don't look
Anyway,
at don't
it's
look
good
at
that we're
anything,
laughing. It's good that
huh?
we're laughing. I didn't start this day laughing, so
I
it
know,
was a tough day for
I
me.
know. Indeed, indeed. Okay, I think I understand how to. Can you only hear one of my voices, Les, or do you hear anything in the background?
I guess I should plug in my
Oh,
earphones. Duh, because I'm listening through the computer.
okay.
All right. I
All
hear
right.
you.
Excellent. Okay, we're in the building. I need to kind of go back and forth because I want to be able to look at comments as they come through. Thanks,
Oh,
guys,
we didn't
for
have time to get a moderator to help with that. So, but
yeah,
next
it's
time we
okay.
will.
Listen, this is why we're here.
Hmm.
We're here because after waking up to the significance of what happened in these here United States, we
Excuse
were
me, Ange.
yeah.
Give me permission to record,
Oh,
please.
sure. I don't know if I want to give you permission to record. Who says?
Please.
All right, hold 1 second. Let me try to only go here. Um, all right. Let me make you co-host. There you go.
Thank you.
Okay, excellent. You're welcome. All right, so yeah, so one of the first things I did today after checking in with my family, and we have this amazing group of women that we're on like a ongoing chat with, people who we've known for decades and decades.
Hmm.
One of them reached out and, not doing well, need you guys, and we started just admitting, being vulnerable about how we
Hmm.
were feeling, and I spoke to my youngest son, and he gave me a perspective, which I'll share with you guys in a minute. But and then I got on a live that Stephanie Perry and Rashida Dow were doing
Hmm.
on Exodus Summit, and again, just being in a community of like-minded women. These were Black women who were feeling the feels. And I
Yeah.
realized that Stephanie and Rashida made space for us, and I felt like Leslie and I should make space too for
Hmm.
for you all, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
and that's the reason, right? We have committed in our podcast and then our YouTube channel, which is an extension of our podcast. We committed to showing up, being authentic, doing hard things,
Sometimes being vulnerable,
being
but always being
vulnerable,
candid and honest.
all the things, all the
Hmm.
things. And we agreed to do that. And so after experiencing this community, both in our chat and with Exodus Summit, I felt like, okay, I was feeling the sun a little bit. I'm like, okay, let's do this. And so that's why we're here. That's the reason why we're here, because
Hmm.
we are feeling the feelings, feeling some fear, feeling some, other emotions, a little anger, and a little WTF.
Hmm.
And we thought that we made a commitment. We made a commitment
Okay.
to show up. And so,
And here we are.
here we are. So for you guys joining us either now or in the future, please leave some comments. We are going to be talking about how we feel about the election and the things that have transpired today, and just in general. Again, we have stuff that is on our minds, but we're really interested in creating a community space here for you all to share what's on
Yeah.
your minds in relation to that.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Les.
So I gotta tell you, I went to bed last night. I looked at the election results as they were coming in last
Mm-hmm.
night, and I really felt like anxiety was welling up. Obviously, I supported Vice President Harris.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that, well, it was a little bit too anxiety provoking for me to look at the results. So
Mm-hmm.
I turned off the television and turned off any feeds. And I said, we can deal with this in the morning, but I did
Mm-hmm.
wake up early in the morning
Mm-hmm.
to look at what the election results were. And I gotta say that before I did look at it, I prayed this morning, not necessarily for a particular outcome, but that his will be done and
Mm-hmm.
that we all find a way to be okay with his will.
Right.
So often I'm
Right.
not, and
Right.
I got to catch up. So when I found out, I wasn't angry.
Mm-hmm.
I felt despair
Mm.
and just such a profound sadness, just a sadness, melancholy.
Mm.
Fear, I would also admit to.
Mm-hmm.
Fear of the unknown. And one of the things that I say, I've said before, and I really feel this, that I am blessed enough to say that I have a bit of flexibility
Mm-hmm.
and I have a little bit of resilience in
Mm-hmm.
terms of some of the political changes that go on just by virtue of the my current position in life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I vote for the masses, and
Mm-hmm.
I put my vote in for people that are a lot more vulnerable than I
Mm-hmm.
am.
Mm-hmm.
I put my vote in for people who enjoy less resilience and may be more dependent on the government
Right.
or may not have the benefit of the flexibility with changes that I enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And those are the people that I really grieve and feel for. People who are dependent, let's say, on government assistance or on
Mm-hmm.
social programs
Mm-hmm.
or who are more impacted by minimum wages and who can't withstand inflation fluctuations and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
or people who can't get the heck out of the country if they
Mm.
feel that that's what they need to do.
Right, right,
You know, we
right.
enjoy a little bit more flexibility than other
Mm-hmm.
people, and those are the
Mm-hmm.
people who I put my vote in for, and those are
Right.
the people that I really feel for. So I don't know, I've been processing this all day because for
Yeah.
some reason I didn't even anticipate a different result.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
consider it.
Right, right. So, you know, by you saying that, so the idea of, yeah, everybody wants to pay lower taxes, or everybody wants to, nobody wants to, you know, to pay into the social net. It sounds like that's not the case with you. It's not a given that nobody
It's
wants to.
never been the case for me
Hmm.
personally.
Hmm.
I don't think it's ever been a case for me. And
Right,
I wasn't always in the position that I enjoy am in
right, right,
today.
right,
But I've always had this more what I call altruistic mindset
right,
that
right.
I am just one of many.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think more about other people than I
Yeah,
think about myself as an individual.
right, right,
Yeah, so if I have to pay more taxes to help people who do not pay more taxes, that's okay.
right.
You
Or it's
know,
not
that's
even that
okay.
people do not pay taxes. Everyone pays taxes, but when you the idea that people who have financial means don't like paying into the social net that we have in this country, that everybody is it tries to avoid paying their share of taxes, right? That is
Hmm.
something to aspire to. That's never been true with us. It's never been
But
true with
not
us.
only is it not true with us, Ange, I really don't think that that's a pervasive
I don't
mindset
agree. I think
among
among
people
what
with money. I don't think that
I
everybody is
do. Then why
trying
does
to
Jeff
take advantage of tax
but
shelters. Not
everybody
everybody.
I think
Not
most
everybody. Yeah, go ahead.
I think most I think most companies, most very rich people are looking for ways to hide their money so that they don't have to pay. I mean, there's a reason why Jeff Bezos doesn't pay taxes, right? Federal taxes. There's
Well,
a and
but
people get some people who support Trump. One of the reasons why they support him is because he's been so slick in his businesses to
yeah.
avoid paying taxes. So it's like this gaming of the system. And I just kind of want to point that out, that it
But
is not a given
but
that.
what I also point out
Mhm.
is that the very often people who are able to enjoy the benefit of tax shelters and paying less money than we do and what have you, they are
Mhm.
working within a law and a legal system that has been constructed and is in place. So
Yeah.
they're not illegally evading taxes.
No, but
You
it's two
know,
different things.
what do you mean?
Well, what I mean is that something can be legal but immoral. Something
Oh,
can be
that's
legal but
true. That's
immoral. And
true.
so the fact that they can do it and they're not breaking the law, it doesn't mean that not paying your fair share is okay.
Well, and I think that we can debate about what's fair, but that's not really why we came here to talk about like the tax structure and whether or not it's fair and what have you. Um, I think it would be, go ahead, what do you think? What are you
Well,
saying?
how do you know I was thinking something? Well, the reason why we kind of went on that tangent is the idea that I got mine. I'm not worrying about who don't have theirs, right? I'm good.
Mm.
Whoever's not good, that's on them. They got to figure it out for themselves.
And
That's
I
not on
think
me.
that's what we collectively push back on because the
Hmm.
people who don't have theirs,
Right.
is it really on them?
Right.
or who is it on?
Right. I mean,
And sometimes it requires that we look down one layer deep to
yeah,
see, it's not
yeah,
these, lazy, oh, you chose not to, whatever.
yeah,
There are systems in place to keep the
yeah,
status quo.
exactly. And honestly, the government supports all of us. You may think that it's just okay, it's just kind of welfare recipients. The government supports homeowners because you get a tax credit if you
Exactly.
own a
People
home. The
don't
government,
realize, yes,
they
yes,
support
when
businesses because you get a tax break.
when you have to set aside moderate income, or what do they call it, market rate prices for, or
Hmm.
lower income for your new high rise apartment building,
Yeah,
that's because you're getting a tax break.
it's
That's you're
welfare.
getting you're
It's
getting a
it's
government handout,
you're getting a handout.
a
It's
handout.
yeah,
And
right,
yeah.
right. So so let me tell you what happened when I made up my mind to go outside and get in the sun today,
Mm.
because I was like, okay, I'm not going to. It's easy to just stay inside, but as some of you
It
know,
is.
I
It's easy to just stay in the bed and curl up and stuff. I was just like,
oh,
I wanted to stay quiet.
so I reminded myself that I moved to this more urban area in order to be in community with other people. I moved out of the suburbs for a reason. And so
Hmm.
I got my big girl panties on and I got dressed and I went out. And, there's a coffee shop, shout out to Coco Cinnamon, close to me. So I went there. And as I approached, I recognized someone who I love dearly, because her hair is really, she has iconic hair.
Okay.
It's this Afro-licious white gray hair that she almost always wears out, or if it's braided, it's with gray hair. So anyway, so I kind of knew it was her. A smile came on my face. She was with a group of women, just sitting around holding circle, because that's
Hmm.
just what she does. Shout out to Omishade Bernie Scott, beautiful human
Ah.
being. That so as I walked in, we our eyes caught, saw each other, and I waved, but she was in the middle of saying something, so I just kind of kept moving
Hmm.
and went and to order my coffee, and I was getting my money out, and she walked over to me and just hugged me. She just held me,
Yeah.
and I felt like, and I told her this after, I felt like, how the Bible talks about Jesus leaving the 99 to go and find that
The
lost
one. Yeah.
one. That's what I felt like. Like
Oh, that's some analogy. Yeah.
she left this group of people that she was holding court with to come and embrace me.
Hmm.
And it was just really beautiful as how she was doing, because sometimes, these types of people who are always creating space for others, they need to feel the love also.
Yeah.
We need to pour into them. So, I just checked in her babies. She has two sons, and they are, well, one is in his 30s, but the younger one is not a baby. He's a teenager. I asked her how her babies were doing, and she invited me to join the group. But I'm going to stop the story there, because
Hmm.
again, this is not something that I expected, right? But you make a move towards the joy. You make a move towards it,
Mm.
and you don't know what's there. She might have
I'm
not
not
been
there
there.
yet. Right. I'm not at the point where I can make a move toward the joy. I'm still in the spin a little bit.
Okay, which is fair, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not out of the spin. It's just, but let me tell you what happened that made me shift my perspective a little bit.
Okay.
So, um, Isaiah, Isaiah called me this morning, right? So he's on the East Coast. I didn't think he was up that early, but of course he's in construction. He's so
He's on the
he
West
called me,
Coast.
okay, ma,
Hmm.
West Coast rather. Just checking in, I know it's kind of, so we're talking, he's a really political guy. And he's into basketball. He used to play basketball. He's into basketball. He said, and this is a word right here from a 22-year-old to, to,
Hmm.
to all of you and to these two 60-something-year-olds. He said, there's something about being on defense, right? And I'm paraphrasing here, but this was
Hmm.
the message. When you're on defense, you're in a position to watch, you're in a position to strategize about your next move. You're in a position to really be in action mode. When you're on offense, and you get a win, you kind of loosen up a little bit. You're kind of like in
That
your
I can see that. Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
And you're in a position to take action. And that was like the bigger part of the takeaway for me is I'm in a position to take action. And so my decision to go out was a part of that
Hmm.
wisdom that I got
Yeah.
from Isaiah
Yeah.
around that.
Instead of just sitting and kind of curling into yourself and the
Yeah,
woe is me,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And but I also think that there's time for that,
Oh
there's
yeah,
some time for
absolutely.
reflection, and there was so much press and emails and media coming through that I decided not to look at it,
Yeah.
because people are really in that, what Isaiah was saying, in that I'm in defense now. So what are we going to do? Now is
Mm-hmm.
time for strategy. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
there yet,
Right.
but
Right.
I understand that.
But
I
this is a
understand that.
yes and situation, right? I'm not
Hmm.
there. I took some deliberate action, um,
I
uh,
ate.
and I didn't
My
actually.
action was I ate. When all else fails, open the refrigerator. And I've eaten chocolate too.
You eat chocolate.
Yeah.
Well, fortunately, I had a couple bags of plantain chips. So I made a bowl of that. I ate that. I've really not eaten anything other than coffee and plantain chips today, which is so sad, but it's almost like, you know me, we do the opposite. You go towards food because food is something that is a part of like something that you enjoy. Not, I'm not talking about the eating of it necessarily. You enjoy food is community for you, right? You
Mm-hmm.
love to cook.
Mm-hmm.
You love to kind of make people happy through
Yeah,
food.
yeah, yeah.
It's just not something that I think about a lot.
Yeah.
And and but I guess what I'm saying is that it's not an all or nothing. I'm not like in this joy place now and the world. I have not, other than this, I have not gone on to YouTube. I have not turned on the TV. I've not turned on the radio, not even in the car. I haven't engaged in anything that is going on outside
Mm-hmm.
except the
Mm-hmm.
text messages that have come through. I haven't
And there's a lot coming through. I
uh,
kind of had to put the phone
you
down and stuff. Yeah, but there is a time for engagement.
there is a
And
time.
there is a
Yeah.
time that
Yeah.
we will have to decide on how we're going to engage and what the next move is going to be.
Right, right,
I
right.
think there needs to be a next move.
Yeah. You know what I did too before I left? I grabbed my statement, my social security statement, because for months and months and
What is
months,
that?
it
Yeah,
goes
literal security blanket.
literal security blanket for months and months and months and months. I'm like,
Wait a
okay,
minute. I'll
I'm
be
gonna go
okay.
in.
I'll
I'm
be
gonna
okay.
listen. That is a part of my exit strategy. So I'm like, today is the day I'm going to
Yeah.
take that action. I'm moving towards I'm moving towards my move abroad, right? And so I need to do that. And so I was determined. So I shoved it in my
So you
notebook.
can look at it and like my to-do list.
Oh, I not only looked at it, I actually applied today. This is a part of like, listen,
Wow.
action is the antidote for anxiety. It really is.
For me,
Action is the
eating
antidote
is
for anxiety. Well, that's action.
action and eating.
Whatever it is.
All right, I should stop
Whatever.
joking, but I'm feeling a little better just laughing about it because I wasn't laughing earlier.
Good, good. Yeah, it's like and I know there's a conversation that we had, which I do want to talk about. Let me just see if anyone is leaving any comments. Hold on a
Hmm.
second. Okay, nothing coming. I know there are some people in the in the live. So leave comments, guys. We'll obviously respond. I'm going back and forth. And I want to shout us out for getting our first this is our first live, right?
No,
When
we've
we're not,
been live before.
we've been live together, but we
It didn't
haven't.
eliminate our technical difficulties starting,
Yeah, but the
but
difference
we've been live
is,
before.
Les, but we've been live when we were together. We've never been live in two different places.
Okay.
Never.
But we're always live
Oh
together.
Lord. Oh Lord. So, okay, I'm gonna let. Oh Lord, there she goes. I want you to talk about the conversation we had earlier today. And obviously, you know, you're not going to call names or anything like that. You can
Hmm.
talk about it generally too. It doesn't matter because the point is some people are going to benefit from the person who won the election and some people are going to lose, right?
Yeah, and it's always subjective because it depends on what benefit means to you. For example,
Mm-hmm.
I woke up this morning and had a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and my partner says to me, "Take a look at what the stocks,
Mm-hmm.
what the market is doing."
Mm-hmm.
And we looked, and the market was like, so
Mm-hmm.
then, we both started looking at our portfolios and all.
Right.
And at that time, I reached out to a close friend of mine and I'm like, congratulations on your win,
Mm-hmm.
or he might have reached out to me first. I'm sorry, whatever. But I said, hey, did you see what the market is doing? And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, yeah, yeah. And this was this morning. He told me that he made 100 grand
Mm-hmm.
in the last hour, with the market or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And my portfolio was also up. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, some people are going to say, wow, okay, so it looks already like the economy is going to be improving and what have you. People don't realize that the economy was really doing well under Biden's administration,
Mm-hmm.
and inflation was going down. But in
Mm-hmm.
this case, with the election, obviously, the market is adjusting and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, some people say that's a benefit.
Right.
And I'm not saying that it's not. But then I have to look at the bigger picture again.
Mm-hmm.
Who are the masses? And uh, many, many, many of the people that I care about
Mm-hmm.
don't care about their portfolios, or their
Mm-hmm.
portfolio advances are not the leading concerns that they have in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it that
Mm-hmm.
way.
Mm-hmm.
And again, do you have childbearing women uh, in your life?
Right.
Do you have um, families that may need some more social stability,
Mm-hmm.
or looking to buy a home, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever some of these issues are? Do you have any young Black men in your family?
Mm-hmm.
We have Black sons and loved ones and spouses and partners and whatever, that we have to be concerned about their safety.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many reasons that I have to be fearful,
Right.
tangibly fearful.
Mm-hmm.
of what this administration is going to look like. Look at Project 2025 and its
Right.
900 and plus pages, which I
Mm-hmm.
have saved and I've looked through.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like anybody in public education, my granddaughter's in public school,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the whole system could be changing. Any civil service workers,
Right.
civil servants, that whole
Right.
structure is supposed to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
What happens with the promised dictatorship on day one?
Mm-hmm. Or the vengeance.
So what difference does a portfolio increase have on those things?
Right. Right. So I was thinking of something as I was sitting at the coffee shop and thinking about, I kind of felt like I was being hard on you because maybe less so what I said to you, but how I was feeling
Mm,
about um, you are the friend of the friendless.
I
Okay.
know what you're gonna say.
You are the friend of the
Who
friendless.
my allyship?
And sometimes it's like, what
What
the
the?
fuck, Les? Like, it's not okay. Like the way that you can create containers for people, and I really they're good at this, they're great this way and not this way, and so I'm gonna keep them. And I'm like, it's the same person. If there's somebody who doesn't care about um, the health of my children
Mm.
and
Or the
they're just
least of
okay with making
these,
money,
or the least of
I'm not
these.
into them. They ain't my friend. I
Yeah.
can work with you and I cannot be, I can be civil with you, but you're not my friend. You're not in my cohort. It's just so I
Mm.
have these because to me it's kind of like and I said this to you, and this is where I was like, okay, this is not the time. Timing is important. This is not the time to go in, but we're going to bring it up here because we're going to talk about it.
Because now you're gonna
Is
go in on me and my
because you've had
associates.
you, you've had time. Is that is that uh, um this you know how you react when someone says to you, I don't see you as being a black woman, I just see you as being a woman, and you always that always offends you, and
I'm
it's
like,
like then you're
what
not
the
seeing
hell? Then you are not seeing me.
exactly, then you're not
Hmm.
seeing me. So
I maintain
that
that.
is
Yeah.
that is analogous to me with people who support Trump in your life when they're cool with you. It's because you're a physician. It's because they think that you're okay because you're one of them. You're not this black person who I don't care about the
Hmm.
social systems that affect black and brown low income people. And there's a reason why
Hmm.
low income people are many of them are black and brown, but I'll say low income people, right?
Hmm.
I don't really care about them, and I don't see you as one of them. And so you
Mm.
can be my friend. You're in, but it's because of your income
Your
level.
current status
Right. And
or
so to
who
me,
you are
it's the
now.
same thing. It's the same thing. I only care about you as a friend because I'm going to vote this way because these things matter. These things benefit high income earners, and you're one of us.
Mm.
And not seeing
Hmm.
you as this person who, do you understand what I'm saying? To me,
I
it's
do.
analogous, but tell me if you see it that way.
I think I get the gist of what you're talking about
Hmm.
because we've spoken about this a few times
Hmm.
before.
Right.
I think what's coming up for me though is that I I can easily give grace to people like the person that you're speaking about specifically and people
Hmm.
who think like he does.
Right.
And what I mean is that I think that certain people have certain capacities for empathy, for
Hmm.
sympathy.
Hmm.
They can relate to some things, and very often there are things that they can't relate to.
Right.
And if and when perhaps they make an effort to
Mm-hmm.
understand.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
Right.
I don't think that I think in as many, in an absolute way as you do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I see this more on a continuum because of
Okay.
I know this person and
Yeah.
I've known him for almost 2 decades now.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand in the absence of his being a Trumpster.
Well, and it's not even only that. It's his
Well,
views.
just
It's
the
his views
views
around
that
that.
allow him to align
Mm-hmm.
with those things and not turn his back and reject the things about Trump that I reject.
Right.
But I think we all have our list of priorities. So,
Yeah.
or the things that are important to us. But
And therefore, what? It's like we all have our list of but I
why are you?
mean,
Why am I aligning myself with these ilk?
it's
Is
it's
what you're
it's
saying.
it's almost like he gets permission to he gets permission to have access to you, and he doesn't deserve it, I don't think. That's kind
Wow,
of the
that's
way
deep.
I think about it, right? You're giving him permission, him, other people,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
This is
No,
a
I know it's
general.
not
We're
just
we're
him.
kind of
Sure, sure.
right. We're kind of extrapolating from this particular thing.
Yeah.
I think we give people. I think it's a kind of enabling type of thing.
But and it's interesting that you say that because now I'll speak in extreme cases and also in the biblical sense where
Hmm.
I know that the book tells us that we should not associate with certain people.
Well, okay.
That we should not and now I'm supporting what you're saying. We should
Hmm.
not put in our space, in our midst,
Hmm.
money exchangers and tax collectors and
Well, who says
well
that?
well
No. Well, Christ,
well
Christ, Christ
no,
was
but
okay with that.
no, but what I'm saying is
Yeah.
that I don't know. It's
And I
difficult. I guess I am able to compartmentalize folk,
right,
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
And I think I also have a little bit of an understanding. Remember I said to you
Hmm.
about the same person that I understand why he votes for Trump. I think it's
Hmm.
abhorrent, but I
Hmm.
understood it.
Hmm.
And you were like, what the heck? What do you mean you understand it and stuff? Because I know who he is. I know who
Okay.
his concerns are and the people who support Trump. I mean,
Hmm.
I work in a community where I work among many Trump supporters, and I get to talk to them and I understand why they think that's important. What I
Hmm.
don't understand is why the things that I believe that are unconscionable about him as a person, why
Hmm.
that's not more meaningful and important to them. I don't understand how people can overlook those things and say,
Right,
well, I'm going to settle on this,
right, right.
you know.
Yeah, um I don't have to ask this or guess about this or have I don't have any kind of humility in asserting this, but I have a lot of grace. I'm really wired for grace, for kind of seeing different perspectives,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time, there's certain things that interrupt my peace and that I will not allow in.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm not going to wish you harm, but you don't get access to me because
Mm-hmm.
you love what I hate. And so for my own kind of wholeness, you don't get access to me
Mm-hmm.
because
And
it's not.
and I
Hmm.
get that. We all have that. We all have our lines in the sand.
Right,
Obviously, mine and yours are different.
right.
But everybody has that.
Well, I don't know
You
if they do.
know,
I
well,
don't
of
know if
course
they
they
do.
do. I
Um,
think my tolerance for those things are just different from yours.
yeah.
It's like, ish.
another
Yeah.
another way that we're different. And it's like I can be in a room, or I can have debates, or I can have empathy for experiences that make people think differently than me. This is not about you have to think like I think,
Mm-hmm.
but where I kind of it's like if you're okay with hurting who I love, that's a line. And again, we can chat, but you ain't in my circle.
But see, but that's just what I was
You
just
ain't
gonna
in my you
say.
ain't in my
That
circle.
again, I've told the story many times about a person who is very close to me and a dear
Mm-hmm.
friend,
Mm-hmm.
former coworker, but we've been gotten closer over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I remember
I'm just
when
looking down to
um,
see if
when the
they're.
first election where he was elected, and
Mm-hmm.
when I went to express my fear about Trump and
Mm-hmm.
who he I know him to be, she couldn't understand. She could not relate to my
Mm-hmm.
fear. She couldn't empathize with me.
Right.
And as a result, it really fractured and changed my relationship with her,
Right.
regrettably,
Right.
because I miss the old relationship, but I could not have this level of connection to her that I had before, knowing that, I guess what you said. So I think with this person, and I'm making sure not to mention his name,
Yeah.
um, I almost did, but with this person, I he's in an appropriate place. I
Right.
wouldn't say he's in my inner circle.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but you know,
I'm gonna I'm
that's what I'll
gonna
say.
read a comment that came through. I agree with that, and you no longer have access to me if you can't vote in my best interest. If you can't even see my interests, or if you dismiss my need and suffering because groceries are high,
And
it reminds me,
yes,
it reminds
that's the
me,
point that's important.
hold on one second. It reminds me of the popular James Baldwin quote. Hopefully, they will add that quote. Just stepping into the chat, ladies, for the first time. 37 years old, black male, enjoying you. Thank you so much. OB32,
Thank you.
appreciate that. Yeah, we are just creating space for the dialogue, and I had my train of thought just got disrupted when I was reading those comments.
Well, thank you for leaving comments. And while you think of it, I'll tell you one thing
Yeah.
that just came to me, that I think, unless it really is harmful to your emotional state, I think there's some
Hmm.
utility and perhaps some good that can come from maintaining a diversity of people around
Hmm.
you.
Hmm. Yeah,
Or
of course.
I just think that being with people and exchanging ideas
Hmm.
respectfully
Hmm.
um, can offer different perspectives and
Absolutely.
learning opportunities.
Absolutely agree.
We all know people that will never learn, never change, or whatever.
Right.
But I
Right.
certainly expect that by just interacting with me, he gains some understanding
Yeah.
of me, my issues, and
Yeah.
why someone that presents the way that I do would
Yeah.
think the way that I do.
Yeah.
And likewise, that person who I talked about previously,
Yeah.
I
And I
think that
think
she
that's
has
actually what
benefit from my
happens.
interaction.
I actually think that's what happens, because I know that you bring the issues to them.
Well, I
I
bring
I,
my whole self
I
wherever I
know I
go.
I know
I
that.
don't,
I know
it's
that.
Leslie being Leslie.
Right. So one of the things I'm remembering now what I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see what you thought about this. So So we're stewards of the blessings that we get, right? Financially or otherwise, right? We're
Hmm.
stewards of this blessings. And so I was thinking, so there are people like you, and this is not to you, but there are people like you who are benefiting from this, what I'll call this darkness that has come into power,
Hmm.
right?
I think I'd
And
call
I'm
that a
not
fair
just talking
assessment.
about
Yeah.
the person. I'm talking about this whole setup, this whole.
Because this is bigger than that
It's
man.
absolutely. It's not.
This is
Mm-mm.
bigger than that
I
man.
don't even think most of
Yeah.
them like him. I think he's just kind of
Oh no,
he's
he's
the cult
yeah,
leader,
he's
and
a
they're
figurehead
right,
for
right.
an
So there's this
agenda that's been in cooking up for a long time. But go ahead,
right.
Ange.
So there's this darkness, this white Christian nationalist movement that is the majority of America. If anyone was wondering about that, if anyone was wondering about that, there is proof. When you look at that map over the last few hours,
Hmm.
there's proof. There's some blue spots, and despite the fact that the numbers, I was up watching a lot of it on Alan Lichtman and his son were doing a live and just looking at the numbers and going deep and
Mm.
having commentary, and that's the kind of
Oh.
stuff I like the numbers because I was anyway. I like that stuff more than just talking heads. That
Hmm.
I was like, no, I'm not into that. So anyway, um, so there's this financial benefit from this darkness that has come, right?
Hmm.
And I was thinking, wouldn't it be amazing if the people like you who are benefiting from this darkness financially, okay, now these people have an opportunity to use that money to help the causes that are suffering from this
Mm.
darkness, right?
Sure.
It ain't just
Sure.
yours.
In
You
other
now,
words,
it's almost
yeah,
like
you
God is
don't want to
telling you,
profit
right?
from,
God is telling
yeah,
you,
yeah,
I'm giving this to you, and I'm
sure.
asking you to make decisions, Christian, to make decisions, good people, to make the
Hmm.
decisions, God's
Allies and
kingdom on
yeah,
earth, to be the
yeah.
ones. You don't like where the government may be putting the money or not putting the
Hmm.
money. Now it's
Hmm.
yours. What you
So
gonna
what are you
do?
gonna do with the
What you
increase?
gonna do?
Hmm.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
And that to me would be like an approach that you're not stuck. That is action that you can take. You're not, you didn't vote to get this money, but here you are. You have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you going to do with it to be the change you want to see?
Or further the causes that are important to you, to
Right.
advance the efforts.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. The
And I'm going to
causes.
be
Yeah.
honest, I'm benefiting from it too, financially, right?
Yeah.
And so this is something that I'm saying to myself, what are you just going to squirrel it away and run? Because I'm leaving this place. And so there is a kind of processing around that I'm going to be doing, but I just kind of
Hmm.
wanted to put it out there in this concept of there are individual actions that one can take around. It's almost like, I'll say it this way, but I don't really mean it's like an ill-gotten gain.
I was thinking about that too. But also, but there are ways to mitigate some of the pain of what's going on right now. And it
Right,
doesn't necessarily it financial is an example of one way that, might be helpful. But there are
right.
many ways, like Isaiah said, in terms of defense.
Yeah.
This is a really prime time
Hmm.
for like-minded folks to put their heads together in ways that we haven't before,
Right, right.
to, like Joe Madison says, what are you going to do about it?
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm. May
even
he rest
if
in
we
peace.
have the benefit of leaving the country
Yeah,
and living abroad,
yeah.
there still are people and people that we care about and our loved ones. And in general, if you're a humanist like I am, you know, I care about the least of these who are here,
Hmm.
whether I
Hmm.
know them or not. So
Right, right.
there are certainly things that we can do when we have power from
Yeah,
here or wherever we are,
yeah.
you know.
Exactly. Exactly. We are, many of us in the United States are in the top 1% of, access to things financially and otherwise, relationship currency, financial currency
Right,
that can
right,
be of
because I
service
don't
to the
want
world,
folks
right?
to just think that it's a financial thing, because
Right,
it doesn't have to be. It can
right,
be an
right,
intellectual currency,
right.
you
Yeah,
know? And
yeah.
like you said, relationship currency.
Mm-hmm.
People know people, you
Exactly.
know, and it's groupthink that
Yep,
can be really helpful.
yep. I'm going to read a few more comments from Deneen Rogers. I'm constantly sad about this, praying to get through this. Feel you, absolutely. And I want to talk about that a little bit, about ways that, how are we finding ways of healing, perspectives that help us to move through, because this is, I tell you, one of the first things I thought when I got up is, I'm so glad I have a therapist, and there's so many people who don't have therapists, who don't
Hmm.
have a vehicle to process this. So we can talk about that a little bit. Deneen Rogers, do you think we're repeating like World War II? Oh my gosh. What do you think, Les? It's like,
Well, I don't think that we can necessarily repeat the wars of the past, because warfare
yeah,
and conflict look different right now.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean, it's almost like, is this World War II against us as Americans? You know,
yeah,
I mean, what does war look like? You
right,
know, I
right.
mean, the conventional things that war look like, but we could be. And remember, we have someone now who will be in office that is, in my opinion, and I'm a physician, mentally unstable, or
Mm-hmm.
certainly his behaviors don't reflect mental soundness.
Right,
Um, and as a result, anything could happen. But
yeah,
what I wanted to speak about in terms of the despair and the
mm-hmm.
sadness that I'm
Mm-hmm.
hearing about is that we are not powerless.
Yeah,
You know, we have intellect. We are black Americans are 13% of the country, but we can form coalitions and groups and numbers.
mm-hmm.
We have exhibited spending power.
Yeah,
That's phenomenal. I mean,
right,
if we want to get our hair done,
right,
you know, the black beauty industry and the
yeah,
music industry and what have you, so we can move money if we need to.
yeah,
But not
yeah,
just that, the collective families
mm-hmm.
and connections that we have. So we're not powerless. We may
Yeah,
be sad,
yeah,
but I think this is also a time for action. It's not a time for let's spend a day or two wringing our hands. But after that, it's like, come
right.
on, get up. What are we gonna do?
Right, right. Or, a few hours of the next month or whatever. Like, like
But
take care of
yeah, yeah,
yourself.
it is
There's
a
no,
time for being emotional. Like I resolve, I'm gonna get a massage and
hmm,
a facial. You know,
hmm,
I'm gonna have like a beauty day,
right,
but
right,
just so that my physical body can feel better.
right.
But yeah, it's time to get do the work. Because here's another thing that I thought of.
Hmm.
You know how some folk, they don't hear the whisper.
Mm.
So then he has to shout. And then some
Yeah.
people don't hear the shout.
Yeah.
So then he has to hit your ass over the head.
Yeah.
And then if you don't hear this, you get the real, like what
Yeah.
happened to Job. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is maybe now is the time that people are like, okay, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Enough is enough.
Yeah.
This man has, and I'm not gonna, I'm not even gonna go into the things that
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
um president-elect has
Mm-hmm.
said and done
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, because it's bigger than that. And I
Mm-hmm.
just really don't want to think about him personally too much. But this might be the time when people, everybody got to reach their breaking point. Maybe
Yeah.
this is going to push more of us toward our breaking point. And just
Yeah.
brown people,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, to get off the sidelines and be more participatory,
Yeah, yeah.
not even necessarily in kind of citizenry, but what are the things that you need in your life that you've been putting off, right? You're waiting until you get this thing in order to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
What are
Mm-hmm.
you putting off? You know me and my joy thing. It's like, what are you putting off that brings you joy? Like
Mm-hmm.
what? Like
And
what?
and remember, whoever is in government, we need to demand what it is that we need from whomever.
Yes.
So
Exactly,
so that's not
exactly.
going to change.
Right,
Maybe the way
right.
that our demand looks might
Mm-hmm.
change,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think that we should stop making our presence known and our desires heard.
Right. All right, I'm going to read some more. Here's a quote. Thank you. It's me, edits. James Baldwin quote, "We can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist."
Ooh,
Boom.
boom.
I'm going to read
Yeah.
that again.
Read it again.
We can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist.
Mm, maybe that's the lens through which
Unless
I'll
your
start
disagreement is
judging my
rooted in my
friendships.
oppression and denial of my humanity and right
And
to
right to
exist.
exist.
Yeah,
That
perfect
might be a
quote.
nice little lens to
Um,
filter my friendships through, right?
Jennifer Provost. Hey, Jennifer. Also, if anyone gets a chance, please listen to VP Harris's concession speech given earlier
I
today
heard
at
it.
Howard. It did
Wow.
offer some solace and reminded me that she's a class act. Yeah, I
Jennifer, I
will.
gotta say too, it was comforting to me to hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't yet. I'm not ready to jump in. That's right. We have intellect, criticality, skills, resources, and ingenuity, resilience, and joy. Reminds me of Goldie Muhammad Five Pursuits. Ooh, talk to us about that. OB32 says, "Why do you ladies feel so many black men were for Trump this year? I think blacks are becoming less monolithic because our finances are improving." Oh, that's a what do you think about
Well,
that?
I don't think that we were ever monolithic. That's one thing. And I really think that the reports of so many black men going toward Trump, I think was out of proportion, and I don't believe it.
Um,
Um,
Before or after the election? Because now we have evidence.
well, I don't know what numbers. I haven't seen, again, I haven't looked at the breakdown
Okay,
of people, but I think finances. First of all, I think the numbers were overblown.
right.
The amount of support that he had from that was reported that he had from black men in particular. But again, I do think that
Well,
people
mhm.
went toward Trump because of the economy and what they perceived to, and people across all demographics, because of what they perceived to be economic problems. What I really think that we should spend the next 4 years doing is learning I almost cursed. We really need to learn civics
Mm-hmm.
because the population has no idea how the government works.
Mm-hmm.
And when they think that the executive office is in charge of the economy's movement up and down, they
Mm-hmm.
have no idea what the three branches of government do.
Right.
And so often, what I've heard Kamala didn't do, or Biden didn't do, or Biden did do, or Trump did or did not do, was not in the purview of the executive office at all.
Mm-hmm.
And all of these things that people are finding responsible, that the president is responsible for, it's really acts of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
unless and until people actually learn who does what, who makes laws, and who can change things,
Mm-hmm.
everybody in their ignorance will say it's the president that does this or does not do this. And I think
Right.
that I saw a lot of that.
Right. Well, let me do I don't have the data to do a fact, fact check, but I do know that there is evidence that Trump gained in the support of Black men and in Latinos as a voting bloc.
That I'm aware of. Yeah, that I'm
But
aware of.
I don't,
In terms of the Latinos
well,
gains.
it's Black men also. He gained
Yeah.
because they compared it to 2020.
Hmm.
So I don't know what the numbers are. So how do you think? To what extent do you think her gender and race had to do with it? Because I hadn't really been thinking about that a lot, but I actually think
Are you
that
kidding
that
me?
has a lot to do
I
with
think
it.
it had almost everything to do with it.
Ah,
I think it almost had everything to do with it. And I
mm-hmm.
think that it was veiled in the fact that I think it was pretty clever of the opposition to keep saying that Kamala did this or Kamala didn't do this or the vice president did this. And I'm wondering, what is the job of the vice president?
Yeah,
What things are they responsible for? And what policies are they do they initiate while they're in office? I don't know the answer to that, but
right.
I don't think that she was as responsible as a VP as the president was.
Yeah, no, a VP is
It,
does the president's bidding.
it's
Number one,
like
number two, she was a
this.
VP as she was running, so she can't talk about her boss while
Well, yeah,
she's running.
yeah, it was she was in a tough situation,
Yeah,
to begin with, but I think sexism and racism, listen, this country was built on that. Why
yeah,
wouldn't that have
yeah. I know.
a
I
say?
just,
That's who we are. And
yeah,
until we've stopped lying about who the hell we are, I
yes.
think that
Not
we can,
America. This is not America.
this
Yes,
is
it
not America.
is.
This is
Yes, it
exactly
is. It
America.
is
This is
exactly.
exactly America. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah,
And if we can be when we can be honest, we won't be as surprised at the
exactly.
things that America does
Right.
when they
There's
can
a,
forgive somebody with felony convictions, when they
hmm
don't care about the things that people say in public
right.
and the way that they, denigrate others. And I mean, this is who we are.
Yeah, it really is. And this one thing that I am really concerned about too is how right now, and I'm looking to move abroad. Right now, the American passport has a lot of value in terms of it has a lot of credibility, right? In
Hmm.
terms of a lot of countries not
Right
requiring
now.
visas for. This is what I'm
And you
saying.
wonder how
This is
long
what I'm saying. It's
will it
like, how
have
long
this
is this gonna?
amount of
And I just
value?
got my passport
You
renewed.
know,
It's like,
sucker, you better use
it's
it now. Use it now.
wait
Like
a
when
minute.
we went to
It's like,
Cuba, it's like get in now because you won't be going back again. You know? Yeah, I don't
exactly. I
know.
mean, serious, serious stuff. It's almost like this is, again, it's getting us to live life out of the sidelines. You know what I mean? In It's funny in Jamaica. It's like when there is election, everybody knows the politics. Everybody. There's no Jamaican who is not into politics, at least not when I was growing up,
Mm-hmm.
right? Everybody, because the politics affected you like next day. It
Mm.
affected you. Do you know what I mean? It's not like
Mm-hmm.
here where you could kind of, um, you know, um, you can kind of bob and weave around things, or you could move quickly if you
But
don't like
see,
it. And
Ange,
there's red
but
states, blue
that's
state. You can find safety elsewhere.
But Ange, that's the problem, I believe, that people really don't know
They have a
how much
cushion.
politics
Yeah,
affects their day to day.
right,
Everybody looks at the president, and the
right, right.
president, that's not where you're going to get the bulk of your impact from
Yeah,
politics. It's all
yeah,
local.
yep,
And people don't even
absolutely.
think about their local, they
Yep,
don't know about their local government, the
yep,
townships and
yep,
things. They have no idea the things that are affecting them every day. Are you
right,
paying taxes? I told
right.
you know that I was paying 21 grand a year in property taxes.
Mm, mm,
Who
mm,
is
mm, mm.
Biden and Trump didn't
Had
make up
nothing
those
to do with
things.
that.
He had nothing to do with the fact that I had to pay nearly 2 grand a month in property taxes.
Mm, 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 mm.
So I'm just saying, it's like, who is it that are making the rules and the laws that affect you on a day to day?
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
is putting these these state judges
Mm-hmm.
and the federal and the Supreme Court together?
Yeah,
It's like we don't think about those things.
yeah,
And
yeah.
again, it's a failure in civic education.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's something that you could spend time doing instead of watching videos on TikTok.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, learn some civics for goodness sake.
I have a friend, shout out to Elizabeth Jenkins.
Hmm.
She homeschools, right? Or she used
Yeah.
to homeschool. Her children are older now. And she said, she had to do a lot of learning in order to train
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
children, right? And so the more that she delved into all the things, history, civics, and so on, she said, I realized that my country has a toxic relationship with me. At first, she used to say, I have a toxic relationship with my country, but she was like, I didn't do anything. I'm just
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah. I
she's
just
like,
is.
my country has a toxic relationship with me. It's trying to kill me. She's a black woman. It's trying to
Mm,
kill me.
I hear you.
And
It's. hmm I'm looking at my watch because we've
she's
been
trying
at
to
it a
leave.
while.
How
Yeah.
are we in time? We've been going on
We're
for a
running
while.
at the end.
All right, wait, let's see. Let's
What?
see. We
Any
got
other
some more
comments?
comments. Thanks for the feedback, Black Boomer Besties. Thank you, OB32. I agree, Jennifer. I agree with Leslie's take on the numbers and her statement. Three branches of government spot on. Gender and race had everything to do with it. I agree, Jennifer, especially gender. Trump beat two qualified female candidates, but not the male candidate. Wow. Yeah. So, all right, Les. Let's see if there's any. I feel like there's something else that I wanted to say. It'll come to me, but I did want to say this. God is still sovereign.
Mm,
We all have experiences, life comes at us. There is a posture of learning that we can take that, in my experience, has been one of the best ways that I have been gifted in changing myself as and becoming a better person is
mm,
through the difficulties and taking a posture of, okay, Lord, what is it that you want me to learn
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
in this
Yeah.
experience? What is it?
Yeah.
And being really like in that, when I say posture, like stepping into that. This is
Yes.
something
Yeah.
that I need to learn from. There's something that I need to do. There's some way that I need to rethink, that, some change in
And be
perspective that
open
I
to
need to
that and
have.
drop defensives and
Exactly. And
yeah,
not kind of,
yeah,
oh, the waves
Lord.
are hard. It's like, what is the way to ride this wave,
Hmm.
so you can come out the other side as a better version of yourself? That is that has served me, and kept me from going under. God's honest truth. That has kept
Yeah,
me from going under and drowning in the things that I've had to experience in life. Drowning, like,
yeah.
and so I did want to say that,
I feel that, Ange, when you say
you
that.
know,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, you do. And it is, we can't control what happens, the what is put in front of us that we have to experience. But more and more, and this is something that I used to resist with every ounce of my being. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's how you experience a thing. It's not what comes at you. It's how you. What are you talking about? That's bullshit. That's toxic positivity crap. No,
Yeah,
what are you
yeah.
talking about? Listen. I've stepped into my elderhood. I've stepped into that. This is like,
But then, too, I think that there's a certain amount of comfort or wisdom in knowing that if it's His will,
yeah,
then He will also make a way for you
yeah,
to get through it and a learning opportunity.
yeah.
So,
But
Lord, open my heart, and what is it that you want me to get from this?
what is it that you want me to? How do you want me to move
Yeah,
through this thing?
yeah,
How do you want me to
for
move through? It
sure.
has to be really, really, really intentional. Because when those triggers come, and it's like, okay, you know what I mean? What is
And
it? I'm feeling these feelings.
you know me, I'm gonna step out in my humanness
What
first, and I'll be like, "What the?"
is it?
And then it's like, "Wait, wait, 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 wait. Okay, okay, wait a minute now."
What is
I know that was a test. I'm gonna shout out to Dawn who's listening. Thank you for listening, Dawn. And you're right. I'll leave the judges alone.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, we had to step
Yeah,
back
yeah,
from
yeah,
that.
yeah.
All
That's
right.
that.
So
Hey,
anyway,
yeah,
thank you so much. Hey Nat, absolutely. Thank you for, leaving a comment and for joining us here again. We're here because, you know Leslie and I have benefited from being in communities of, incredible people,
yeah.
incredible people. We've just born into, loved into,
Mm-hmm.
just pulled
Enveloped and
energetically into
supported.
these amazing groups of people. And it's part of why I wanted to start the podcast, because it's like, we've been truly blessed, Les. There are things that we have, lived through
And overcome,
and
and many did
overcome.
not come out.
I get by
Many
with a
didn't
little help from
survive.
my
Yeah,
friends. I
yeah.
get by. What is it? I'm gonna something. I don't know all the words. We have gotten by with the help of our friends over and
And
over and
yeah,
over and
yeah.
over again. And this, continues to be a
Community. Yeah.
platform where we, you know, those who know better do better. And we just thought, even in the grief, there is a responsibility that we had to create space
And
for this
just to come in
conversation.
and yeah, yeah.
So we thank you all
And
for
if
engaging.
you're not part of our regular community, I'd love you to like and subscribe to our channel.
Yep.
We typically will have a new podcast every Tuesday, but if you
Mhm.
click notifications, you will find out and be alerted to when we drop new content. And we'd
Right.
love it if you did and told
And
your
that's how
friends
you hear
about
about
us.
our lives too, because we do drop podcasts consistently every Tuesday. But in between, if something is hot, if Leslie is like on fire
You mean
about
like one of
something.
my hot flashes, or not that kind of hot? Listen,
No,
it's a wonder I kept my shirt on during this thing, because you know how I
right.
get. I'm like, I gotta take my shirt off. Okay, I put my shirt back on because now I'm cold. All right, but I digress.
Right, like the
Um,
episode that we dropped today's Wednesday, yesterday? Yeah, we dropped it yesterday. That was Leslie having a like, and
like, did
did
you
you
what
see that?
the?
All right, we gotta. So
Yeah,
yeah, if
yeah.
you hit the notification, you'll hear more about us. And you know, we just want to put the voices of intellectually curious Black women, older Black women, out here and have it be a part of all of the data that is being
In the
collected
ether.
and disseminated in this world. So thanks for joining us.
All
Any
right.
closing,
Loved you guys.
Les?
This
You're
has
good.
been a live episode of Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. See you guys. Now I gotta figure out how to take it off live. All right,
Yeah.
guys, you're gonna
All right.
work
Yeah,
with
make
me.
sure we're not recording when I take off my
Yeah.
shirt. It's not that kind of party.
Okay,
Not
wait.
today.
Let me stop the live. Thank you. And for all of the people in our future, thanks. You can leave your comments and we will give you a
We'll
shout
answer
out
them.
there
We
as
answer the
well.
comments.
We do answer the comments. Okay, I don't see a clean way to stop it, so
Oh my gosh.
we're gonna just do it this way.
What,
We're
you're just
gonna
gonna close the
heck yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I know that's
All
gonna
right.
work.
Bye. That was fun. Did you close it? Close it out? You don't know.
Yeah, I closed the window.
All right.
Let me see. Hold on.
Oh, it says live on YouTube. Something. I don't think we're live anymore, right? We're still live, Angella. I
Hold
tell
on.
you. Look, OB32 said, no, not closed. You see? I tell you, man.
Listen, okay. What we know or don't know does not. What is it? Progress is better than perfection. So we are
Mm-hmm.
about making progress. But I am gonna figure out how to.
And it says, keep your shirt on, Leslie.
Yes.
Hilarious.
That's funny. Oh, that was okay, so let me figure that out. Just gonna shut it. Shouldn't it just work if I just shut the damn thing down?
Apparently, it hasn't worked.
I'm gonna try it again. 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 Are we still there?
We can't get in.
We
You know what?
can't
This
get
is hilarious. But this is really who we are.
we
This is the
it's not
true us.
it's not that we can't get in, we can't get out. We couldn't get in and we can't get out. Let's see. Live uh
You know what? I
what?
can't even stand up because the debris that's behind my body is going to show if I.
Oh my gosh. I don't think we're live anymore. But wait, don't take anything off. Do nothing. Do nothing. Let me just check to see if we're uh um I'm checking.
We alive.
No, we're not. How can we still be live? Stop recording us. Okay, wait. There must be something that I'm just
You have
not.
to stop it from your end.
Wait, no. Okay. There must be something that I'm looking at, but I'm just not seeing. So I'm going to go back and no worries. Okay, here we go. Meeting room. Um, this.
Help. Where's our editor when we need him?
It's fine. Okay, so I'm here now. I'm back in, and that I'm just gonna take my time instead of trying to.
The public is telling us we're still live.
Okay, I'm here. I'm
Okay.
on. I'm on the live, and I am just taking my time instead of quickly trying to run. I'm going to take it off live. Okay, it's telling me 8 people are watching. I am still looking, guys. Leslie will keep her shirt on. There will not be a show. Notifications.
I'm getting a message. Still live. Get editors.
What? It said still live what?
Get editors. Get help.
Listen, just you're just seeing
Don't
how we
send children in to do adult work.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you know what I think
Who
will
is
end
it
it,
that got
Les?
on the thing and said, Jane, stop this crazy
Crazy
thing?
thing. The Jetsons. The Jetsons. You know what's gonna stop it, Les? When we stop the